The bike that I'm going to talk to you about today is quite a bit different. This is a bike that's designed for people who don't bike. So we at Treck have a bunch of experts that we can talk to when we're talking about race bikes. But for the Lime, we didn't have an expert non-expert. There's 161 million of these people in the U.S. that could be riding bikes but aren't, so it's a huge opportunity for us. They don't view bicycles as an exercising tool or a training device. They view it as something that's fun and something to just get on and ride around the block, kind of like you did when you were a kid. Shimano is a component supplier for us, and they realized this potential, and they developed a program called Coasting. And this program consists of really two things. One is the actual components that make a coasting bike. They allow the bike to shift on its own. It's an automatic transmission for the bike. The other thing that they've been doing, and Treck has been doing a lot of, is changing the marketing strategy that we use for these type of people. In the past, we could go to bike magazines and bike websites and advertise our product, and we got to our customer. But these customers aren't bikers, so we had to go to different avenues. And we needed to get more insight on what these people really needed. So what we did is launch a large research project where we interviewed people, screened out the type of people that we needed to do, and we interviewed them. We took pictures of their garages, had them talk about their childhood memories from biking. We also followed them around in shops, and we call them shop-alongs. Basically, we got to see the bike buying experience through their eyes, and that was very enlightening. The bike industry is fairly technical, and these people really didn't care about the technology. They just wanted it to look good and feel good. So we collected all this data and basically came out with these key findings. We call them the low-hanging fruit. These are the things that we thought if we addressed these, we could have a successful product. And I'll just go through a couple of them. The first one is dork factor, we called it. And basically, these people don't want to look like dorks, and they don't want to wear Lycra and get crouched down on their bike and look like racers. They don't see themselves as that. In fact, they probably think those people look like dorks. So that's not the market. Fit was also very important, and they wanted to be comfortable on the bike. Again, they didn't want to be crouched down and uncomfortable just to get some aerodynamic drag numbers to drop. They wanted to just sit on their bike and have fun. Safety was big. Finding a place to ride where there's not traffic and things is another area that Treck and Shimano have been trying to help out. And then through the shop experience, we learned quite a few things. And one big thing was there's different places on the bike that people gravitate towards. We call those the point of interaction. Things like the handlebar grips, the saddle, the tires, those are areas that people felt when they walked into the bike store. They touched those things. They wanted to judge the bike based on how those things felt. So we knew we had to spend special attention on those things. The other area was color and style. This was huge. People would make decisions on what bike was right for them based on the color. So they didn't know that there was full suspension mountain bikes and road bikes. They just wanted a green bike or a red bike like they remembered from their childhood. So with all this knowledge, we sat down and did brainstorming, came up with different concepts for how this product and the surrounding products around it could be designed. And we also developed a form language board and a form icon. And basically this image board on the left is a collection of products that we feel emotes the same feeling that we want our end product to have. So we wanted this product to be simple, youthful, fun, familiar, and safe. So if you look at the Lime bike, the idea is that those words should come to mind. They have to in order for us to achieve our goal. So that was the goal there. And then with the form icon on the right, this is a tool that we use to kind of make sure that the product is homogeneous in its design. So if multiple designers work on it, you can always point back to this form icon and get the flavor of what this product needs to look like. In this case, it was very soft, inviting kind of forms with some chrome accents. So we sat down and sketched. And then the next step for us is to bring those ideas together into SolidWorks. And we used SolidWorks to bring in components from Shimano and ToomSet for the frame, brought all that together, did sizes through configurations, and then the components themselves checking for fit and manufacturability. We also use SolidWorks to generate images to help in our sort of internal sales pitch. This image is talking about lime peels, which is a concept we came up with to allow the user to change the color of their bike. So anything that's green in the big image can be swapped out for the other colors. We also created a looks like model. So this is a physical model, a rapid prototype to show internally and to some of our key dealers to get feedback on. From there, we developed a rideable prototype that we brought to Treck World, which is a big event in Madison, Wisconsin, where we invite our 100 top dealers to check out the bikes that we're going to launch the following year. So they get a chance to see things before they're launched and give us their feedback. The Lime was the hit of the show. Anybody that had a chance to ride this bike came back with a big smile. It was just a fun bike to ride. It was also featured at the Eisner Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, along with a few of our other products, and the invite utilized some of our SolidWorks images. And this is the actual production bike, and I'm just going to point out a few of the cool features. Again, the lime peels, so as you can see, all those little green parts can be swapped out to be blue or pink or whatever color you want. And we spent extra time on the grips and the pedals to make sure that if this tips over in your garage, it's not going to scratch your car. It also feels really good when you're in the shopping experience. And then the saddle has a neat feature. It allows you to store your camera or your keys or iPod or whatever inside the saddle. So that's a neat feature that we learned about from our user group. And here is a group of images that show all the products in the Lime category. You can see there's some low-step bikes for ease of getting on and off, and some more traditional frames in several sizes and several colors. The Lime product has been a good success for Treck, and it's gotten a lot of attention in the media. So this was really a good success to branch out and try to find users that aren't our typical group.